Lee, welcome back to the channel, Fixing for Reselling. We met up with John YLM. I picked up a load of broken items off him that need fixing, but this one's a favour I'm doing for him for getting a good deal on the other stuff, hopefully, if I can fix it. He's taken this apart. I think he's put new belts and stuff on there, got it working, but he's put it back together and it's got no sound. So we're doing this as a favour. We'll take this apart. Let's see what he's done. Hopefully it could just be a simple one, could just be a wire hanging off. But let's get it apart and have a look. Stay tuned. Oh, it's a bit dusty. I think he just shoved this up in the loft after he took it apart. Right, let's plug it in. Let's see what it is or isn't doing. I don't think he's put the screws back in this either. Right, plugged in. Oh, we got tape. Tape won't stay playing. I don't know why that won't stay playing. Alright, let's try radio. FM. Oh, that's a bit scratchy. But no, nothing. So nothing on the radio. Play button won't stay down on the tape. Where's my tape? The last one got bloody chewed up. Where did I put my... I'm not sure where I put my other tape. Right, is this going to play with the tape in? No. Keeps wanting to stop. Rewinds and fast forward. Play button won't stay down. Why not? Okay, maybe it's not going to be as... simple as what I thought. So unplug it. Right, it feels like he hasn't put the screws back in. Nope, 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 nope. Beat cancel. It's got nothing to do with that, has it? No, should have nothing to do with beat cancel. Right, nothing. Scratchy speakers. Right, so hopefully the front just comes off of here. I've got it unplugged. Right, John, what have you done? It's all soldered and plugged in down here. So I don't think it's that. Tape counter belt is very loose. It shouldn't bend that far. And that can come off. That can come off. We'll find a better one for that. Let's have a quick look in here, see if I can see anything. Nothing obvious so far. All the connectors seem to be plugged in. Right, let's see if we can pop this tape deck out, see if there's anything under here that's not been put back on. Who knows? Who knows? What have we got to take out to get to this? Did I have to undo that lot? No, probably bloody not. Alright, where are you held on? All held on to all them. These seem very springy. Never seen blue belts. Don't know where he's got them from. I'm wondering if he hasn't got that pin in there when it's put back together. Right, what have we got? No sound. Oh, well, I'm not seeing anything obvious. Right, so let's clean up the switches. If you remember, the volume control was crackling through the speakers, so get rid of that. Right, over this side, this is the volume control. Was it left and right, the balance? So these are what they call the pots. These are what you have on the on your volume controls. It's the same with like most things on volume controls. They usually have like a little hole around them somewhere that you can get some spray into. You don't want to be spraying sort of down the top into there, because these usually have like a sticky grease on them, which makes them feel like you're turning something, gives them a bit of resistance. So you don't want to be sort of cleaning that off there, because that will then just make them spin like freely. It just feels even cheaper plastic then. So I've just got some contact cleaner, fast drying contact cleaner made by them. You can use IPA as well, but I'm just going to try and get the nozzle down in there. There are like little holes either side in there, so I just want to try and get that in there. Give them both a couple of squirts. That'll force it down in there. I'm just going to twist the knobs backwards and forwards, because there's a little wiper arm that goes on a sort of copper circle, like a contact. It changes like the resistance. If it's those copper contacts, it just oxidize, get dirty. Contact cleaner will clean them up. And it's the same with most switches. If you switch something in your ear, pop, pop, cut, cut, it probably needs cleaning. So let's try and clean these up a bit. I'm also going to do it like with these switches, which is your stereo one and your radio and tape player. They're similar. You can see down in here this big silver bar. See that blue thing moving along the bottom? See that? It's the same type of thing that's moving along. That's, you know, got a wiper arm on it. It's moving along the contact strip. So again, we get in there. Spray it into any like holes you can see. Move the switches, and that'll give it a good clean. Yeah, same down in this one, which is the stereo switch, mono and stereo. And again, we've got our band selector over this side. Get it a run down in there. We got our tone pot as well. Right, and then you have this bar in here, which is connected to the tape, which is like the recording arm. It's a shame with this. It's the same with the sharp stereo I had. I'm not sure where it cleans it on this bit, but try and get some inside and along this arm. Don't have to worry about cleaning that spray up. Evaporates. Same as IPA, evaporates and dries. Right, so that's all cleaned up. Yeah, I'm not happy with this belt on here, and it's tape's not playing properly anyway. Yeah, the tape's not playing properly anyway on here, so. Let's see if I've got a belt that will go around this. I'm hoping this plate comes off. Right, let's see if I've got a better belt than this. I mean, they shouldn't be that stretchy. I don't know what that is on there. No, if anything, actually that's too tight. That's where that starts. You can feel like resistance there and that stretching. We've got a long way to get over to that belt, so that is actually too small. So they're the same kind of size. We want one slightly bigger than this. These are all pretty much the same size, which is the biggest ones in these packs. Let's see what this one's like. See, that's starting there. I've got resistance there, which is just kind of like the edge of this pulley, so hopefully that one is probably going to be just about right. You don't want it too tight because it will strain the motor. Let's give that a go. See, and if you look at the size of that, look at the size of that one compared with the size I've just put on. Yeah, slightly different. The blue one stretches a mile. The black one stretches to there. So I don't know what they are, but they're no good. Right, let's get this back in and we'll see where we're at. Right, plug that back in. There. Alright. See if cleaning these switches has done anything. Don't copy what I do. Put the front back on it. It's high voltage in just in here. That can kill you. So don't copy me. We've got a power light on there. Not sure I noticed that before. Getting a stereo light as well. Who's the idiot? You need speakers on to hear anything, don't you? Right, again, I'm going to be careful putting my hands back in here. You don't want to touch anything because you just had power into it. Capacitors and everything could still be charged up. Just got to slide this onto here. Well, I'll put the front on because it's... Let's see the speakers. Oh, we've got a stereo light. Yeah, we've got nothing. Nothing there. This is going to play a tape. I still need to clean that capstan wheel. No, why won't that stay down? Right, I'm just going to check with headphones. If you've got no sound coming out of speakers, it's always worth testing the headphone port socket if you've got one. Because also, if that's broken as well and it's stuck, thinking there's something stuck in there like a jack, that's going to cut all the sound off as well. Yeah, I've got my power and stereo lights, but with nothing coming out of speakers. I can hear it's kind of like scratching sound when you turn the volume up, but that's it, nothing else. Right, no, dead. Dead. Right, let's get this back apart. Let's see if we can find the amplifier section or something. Right, I've taken it out of the unit. I've taken it out. I've been trying to measure voltages, which is all on the back. We've got our preamp up here. I wanted to measure the voltages going to this, and underneath this shield is our power amp. So I wanted to make sure voltages were getting to it, and the only way to do it was to take it all out, disconnect it. So I've been measuring voltages on the back. This is all our preamps. So this is the preamp here. I've managed to find the schematics for this page. So this is our preamp. Our voltage in is on pin 6, which I've measured. It's not measuring 7.6, it's measuring higher. I think these voltages are for if you're running off a 9-volt battery. When you've got it on the main power supply, you've got like 12 volts coming around here. Because if I measure, this is our power transformer. This is where our power supply comes in, goes through the power, goes through a transformer. So you've got your primary side, your secondary side. Signal comes out of there is like AC. So you've got a fuse on there, and then you've got your rectifier diodes. So once it's been through there, your voltage comes out the other side. So if we come up here, runs through our tape radio switch into our big main capacitor, 220 microfarads, 16 volts, and then it travels up here, and then when you see a dot it means it's connected. If it's just travelling over the two lines, it's not connected. So basically it comes up here into our power amp, so it doesn't really go elsewhere apart from this one, which I think is the noise prevention part. That's where we can measure our voltage going straight in, because it's not going through any resistors or capacitors or anything. So it's basically coming out of here, up that line, nothing. There's a capacitor going to the ground there, but you can see it's travelling up here to that dot, across there, up there. So that is the voltage we have coming out of our bridge rectifier, as far as I know. So back to the preamp. I was measuring voltage. We have got the 3.5 volts coming out. So we've got all our voltages on our preamp. So it was kind of like measuring from there. I had to measure up to here. SW102 is the recorder bar, which if you've watched me fix the Sharp VZ3000, I had a problem with this recorder bar. Now I did clean that previously, and it was all cleaned, and it was just stuck in my mind. I've got all the voltages, because I've repaired the other Sharp before. I just remembered about this bar, and this is the bar, and it's got an H on it. So over this side, I'm not sure if you can see down the bottom, we've got an H down there. So it comes through all these capacitors and resistors and ends up at J, which is further over this side. Now bear with me. The schematics aren't exact because I can't find resistor 135 on here. I can find the capacitors, struggling to find the resistors. So that brought me over to this back of the board here, where you got H is here, and then you got J that is at the end. Now let me zoom in. You can see I've already been poking around, but if I move, I don't know if it's going to move now if I move the recorder bar at the back. No, it's hard to see. I hope you can see that is loose. That is loose. So is the one next to it. See that wiggling from side to side. Now if I take the multimeter onto continuity, so it beeps when I touch. So we go from this end pin, you can see where the track goes, comes over to here. No connection. That is not connecting there. It's actually broken just in there. And then our pin next to it, You see it comes up here. This side looks alright, and it is. It's touching this side up here. When you come down this side, follow that green trace. Nothing. It's not there. It's up here, but it's not there. So I'm hoping this eventually travels from here. Where is it? Across there, and it ends up basically going back over towards our switches and amplifiers over this side. So I'm hoping this is our problem. Now the waffle's over, let's scrape these back and see if we can do anything with it. Let me try and zoom right in there. Right, so I'm just going to scrape back some of this coating if I can on here. Trying to hold the board steady with the other hand. There, and also we need to try and get in this side as well. Get a quick wipe with IPA so you can hopefully see it. Just try and get a bit more off this one. We can jump this gap hopefully. I don't know, let's see. Let's get a bit of flux on there. We've got flux in our solder, but it's always worth putting a bit extra flux down. Right, let's see if we can bridge this. We'll just get some solder on there. You can see that pad's all ripped now. See it moving across. Trouble is, when you use flux, the solder flows. Let's just flood this area. I'm not trying to join these two up. It's a bit of a tight space. See that bit of circuit boards twisting round. See that bit of circuit board there? I don't want that touching the other pin or leg. That should do it. Now this one wants to join in. You see what I mean? When you run out of flux, the solder stays lumpy, doesn't flow. I've said this in other videos before. Let's add a bit of flux onto there. Just going to clean the tip of the soldering iron off just to remove some of the solder. Now, see how that has now flowed nicely, separated, flowed. And once the solder is burnt off, you can probably bridge it again. But while that flux is there, you're not going to bridge it. I'm not sure whether that's done it or not. I think I need to use a piece of wire. Right, it has joined them, but I think those joints might be a bit fragile. That's better, happier with that one. Right, just got to go along And add a bit more solder to all these other joints as well. Yeah, some of the solder on here ain't brilliant. It's hardly got any solder on some of the stuff. Sometimes the smallest little crack on things can ruin the whole circuit. Right, let's try and get this back into the case and see if we got any luck now. Because if this doesn't work, I'm sorry John, but I am giving up on this. I've probably spent a day on here actually trying to look at all this and figure it out. Right, and going back to the tape player, what I found, you know, it wouldn't keep playing, and the reason is because this wasn't springing back up, it was stuck. Yeah, see at the moment it's down, it was stuck up, it was being pushed up all the time. So when the wheels were turning, I'll just mimic it at the back, it would reset, because that is for when the tape tightens. Let me reset it. So when the tape is playing normally, this is like pushing down on the tape. But when it gets to the end, obviously there's no tape left, the tape will tighten, pushes that up. So as it turns, that's what makes it auto stop. So it just needed a bit of cleaning. It's actually in the back here. You can't actually see it with this plate cover on, but just under there, you can see that moves up and down just a little bit. And it moves this piece over here. It moves this little plastic arm in there. There you can see that moving slightly. Then on the end of that little plastic thing, there's a little gear with like 3 teeth in it. And there's the same on this wheel. There's a little gear with 3 teeth. So obviously as that spins, that is being pushed up. That little plastic piece in there, you can see the 3 teeth come down and engages with this wheel. If I was doing it the right way. There. So that was the problem with that. So this should work. And that is that. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, I'm sorry John, it doesn't. Right, door still opens, all the buttons press. Okay, tape, radio, stereo. So I've cleaned all the switches. Okay, here we go. It's the moment of truth. Let's hope I've connected everything up. Let's lay you down so we can see the lights and everything. Let's turn the volume down. Right, so we're off at the moment. Tape plays. Fast forward rewinds. All good. Right, here we go, radio. Got our power there. See if we can get a signal on something. Oh no, it's on, is that on mono? Yeah, it's on mono. Let's get it on stereo. Alright, so we've got the stereo light on. Have we got any sound? Yes!
Album What's Your Pleasure, Jesse Ware and Spotlight.
We have sound.
And we keep it sharp tonight.
Amazing.
Summer State of Independence. Quincy Jones assembled a full stop. Thanks for that included.
The ashes of someone you love in the depth of the earth. I talked again to Siobhan Jolly about Holbein.
Put on stereo mono, I've got too much stuff.
Dead and buried.
Stereo mono will do that.
Here Holbein has produced this
Balance to the right, good.
wide and very
Balance to the left, good.
of Christ in the tomb. And I think
Tone
one of the
high,
reasons that
tone
it's
low.
striking is precisely that we've got this very
long wave, medium wave, short wave, all bloody good. John, I don't think you've done that, putting it back together. That was already there. I'm surprised it was working at all before you took it apart. Have I got some music on here I can play? No, nothing on the tape. Did I plug everything back in? No. I'm so close, I'm going to have a look. It is all plugged back in. Right, back apart once again. So, let's test our head. I mean, this part is very, very simple, really. On the schematics, we've got our playhead here. Let's zoom in. Right, so it's off the side of the schematics. I haven't printed it out, but this is the playhead. So you've got your left and right lines. A left-right line coming up here, and your right line coming down there. So your left and right channels. They're going through this switch 102, which is this big long one. So each one has 3 positions. So A has 1, 2, 3. So that's 3 pins underneath. So as you can see there, that's got an R, that's got a P. So when those two are connected together, it's playing. When that bar moves across and these two are connected, it's recording, which is what that does. That slides across and moves these bars over to there, so it will shift them all over. So those ones will go over, those ones will go over, those ones will go over. So in the standard position, they are in play. So they literally come along here, through that switch there, which is connected together, up through this switch here, connected together, and then into your tape and radio switch, which is the one on the top. Covered it. That's up here. That's your radio. That's your tape. So that is this switch here. Then it's going through a 2.2k resistor into your left input, and then it's exactly the same with the right. Goes through that switch, through the 2.2k resistor, and into pin 2 on the preamp input. So I've just quickly tested all this. So first of all, we can test our head. Multimeter. Let's put it into continuity. So we want to make sure our signal's going through the lines. So we can put it onto the red wire on our head there. And then we've got a red wire on the left of this connector. So that is connected. Then we've got a white wire on the right. The middle one's just the ground. So that's fine. So that wire is connected through to that head. Fine. Then this is where that connector plugs in. So this is where this connects into the record playback head down here. So we want the left side to be going to switch A and D. So this one is our left side, and under here it's marked A. Might be easier to do it on the back actually. So the outer two is our right and our left. Let's flip it over. So that is our connector down there, yeah. So these 3 pins are the connector, and this is a long slidey bar. So if we're going from, what was the left one? That one. So our left channel should be coming up on A and D, if I've got it around the right way actually. Is that left? Yeah, I think I've got them around the wrong way. But you should have one channel. Firstly, let's check these. These two should be connected, which they are. That's the record one. So they're not connected unless you slide that bar across. So that's A, they're connected. B, they're connected, 3 pins. These 3 are C, they're connected. These 3 are D, they're connected. So we'll call that our right channel. It goes through B and C, or I could just written it down wrong. So there, so that is connecting through there. So 1, 2, 3 is A, 1, 2, 3 is B, 1, 2, 3 is C. So you can see they're connecting, and not to D. So if we go to the other one, now this should be A and D. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Is it 3, 3, 3, 3? There, those two. So we know it's going from our playhead connector into our switch properly, and then we want to check that it's then going into input 2 of our preamp. Zoom out a bit. So input 2 of our preamp is up here. So what channel was this one again? Find out in a minute. Now we've got to change our mode to resistance because there's a 2.5k resistor somewhere and still can't find it. Just flick the switch from tape to radio. Hopefully, right, let's try that again. As I push down on it, it's flicking that switch. There, maybe 2.2k, but we've got 2k, that's close enough in circuit. So that's B, and that's C, 2k resistance. So we know that's all working. Let's check the other one now. We're back here, 10, 9, 8. So pin 8 is the other channel's input, and again, a 2k resistor. So we know that our signal is coming from ahead, through the switches, through the tape, a radio switch, through a 2k resistor, and into the inputs, both sides. We know that's working. So I don't know. The only thing left wrong with it is, could it be that head's dead? I don't know. I don't know how to properly test or measure. I mean, if we go from ground to one of the channels, it's reading 181 ohms on one channel. Go get to the other one. And 188 ohms. So one side's 181 ohms, the other side's 188 ohms. I don't know whether that head's gone or not, but everything's connecting from there to the board, so I haven't got a clue. Not going to put this back together, and that's it. Calling it all done. Nothing more I can do, I don't think. Sounds like it can be quite loud as well, so that's not too bad. He's got a radio if he wants it. So there you go, John. Sorry I couldn't do much more with it. It's quite a simple fix in the end. A couple of little, few broken solder joints, but you know, the importance of being able to get schematics. A lot of the older stuff like this, you can search the model number. If you search for a service manual or search for the schematics, just enter, you know, the model code QT27 sharp, and you can usually find them. I mean, they look a mess. I never used to be able to read these. I've only started doing, you know, this kind of like stuff a couple of years ago. You know, take this as entertainment. I don't really know everything what I'm doing, but once you kind of like can look and see where things go, you can trace. I mean, to be able to trace, you know, this is the power transformer, you know where the power comes in, to be able to follow these lines, knowing the dots or where the lines connect, and where there's no dots, it's just jumping over the line, it's not touching them. And you can check, you can see, you can go where your voltage, check where your voltages are going and make sure they're there. Obviously be very careful, because you know, you've got high voltage going into this and it's dangerous, so just be careful. Yeah, so sorry John, I can't get it fully working. Not sure if the head's gone, don't know that much about them. If anybody does know, let me know. I'm not sure how much a replacement head is, probably only like $5 or something. Not too sure if it is that is wrong with it. So there you go, John, let me know if you want this back. I'm sure you probably do because you've got the radio on it. Send me a message, you know where I'm at, and I'll get this back into the post to you. Send me your address and stuff. Half a foul, half a fix. We've got it working, we've tried to diagnose it. You know, if you do know anything about the head, you know how to check a head, or if you saw anything wrong with the resistances there, let me know. I probably won't have this radio here by the time the comments come through and the video's uploaded. But it'll be interesting to know for next time anyway. So I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, please comment, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.